Whoa, legendary!
What is up guys, I'm Kris05 and today I will give you part 2 of my video, Free Dust from the Hall of Fame in Hearthstone. You guys really dominated the comment section on that video and it got over 300 comments in less than 3 days, so I think it's time I give you a little bit more information around that topic. First, I will answer most of the frequent questions around the Hall of Fame, and after that I will give you even more strategies and ideas on how you can get even more extra dust from the Hall of Fame, especially if you're a veteran. Again, I will do my best to answer everything I can under this video as well, so don't hesitate to drop a comment. Now let's get right into it. Okay, let's discuss your most frequent questions from my last video. If you haven't watched it yet, please do that first, so you have the full picture and you can come back to this later. How does the Hall of Fame work? If a card gets Hall of Famed, you get the full dust value of the maximum amount of playable cards in a deck, which means you will automatically receive the dust value for up to 1 copy of each unique legendary card that is getting halved, and for up to 2 of each unique epic, rare and common cards you own. The game will prioritize golden copies over regular copies, so if you have 1 golden Baku and 1 regular Baku, you will only get the 3200 full dust refund for the golden Baku, and you can disenchant both for extra 2000 dust. This also answers the next question as well, for how many copies you will receive your Hall of Fame free dust. The maximum amount of playable cards in the current Hall of Fame is 1 Baku, 1 Gen, 2 Moths, 2 Stags, 2 Black Cats, 2 Eels, 2 Doom Guards, 2 Neutralizes, and 2 Divine Favors, for a total of 16 cards. I repeat, it will prioritize the golden copies, so don't worry if you own them in regular, but you might want to disenchant those extra copies anyway, because if it's dust gain you are going for, there would be no reason for you to keep them anyway. Next question. Will you get extra dust if you disenchant your regular cards and craft them in golden? Short answer, no. Long answer. You will not gain any dust like that, and here's why. Let's say you own regular Baku right now. What this gives you on half day is 1600 dust for owning the card, and you can disenchant it for 400 dust extra after that, for a total of 2000 dust gain. If you, however, decide to disenchant your regular Baku for 400 dust right now, and craft a golden Baku instead, you will give 3200 dust for the golden Baku, get 3200 dust back on half day, and you will be able to disenchant it for 1600 dust, which combined with the 400 dust you got from disenchanting your regular Baku in the first place gives you exactly 2000 dust again. So in reality, you didn't achieve anything from doing this other than closing 3200 dust for a month, which you could have used for something else. Same goes for epics and same goes for rares. If you own the regular versions, there's no point in crafting them in gold. You won't receive extra dust like that. For commons, it's another story, which leads us to question number 3. How do you gain extra dust from crafting golden commons while having the regular commons? This part is a little bit tricky and a bit complicated too, and I will probably just confuse a lot of you even more with this, but if we have to be perfectly accurate, here's how you can gain a little bit of dust from crafting golden commons. The dust gain comes from the difference from crafting a regular common and disenchanting a golden common. If you own 2 regular commons on half day, you will receive 2 times 40 dust for owning the cards, and you can dust them for extra 5 dust each, for a total of 90 dust per 2 regular common cards. If you, however, craft these same 2 common cards in golden as well, for 2 times 400 dust now, for a total of 800 dust on half day, you will receive your 800 dust back, and you will be able to disenchant these 2 golden cards for 50 dust each, instead of 40. So in conclusion, you can dust the golden ones for a total of 100 dust, and the 2 regular copies for 10 dust, for a total of extra dust gain of 110 instead of 90. Told you it was complicated. If this confuses you too much, I could try explaining it in the comments again, but in reality it's probably just better to ignore this, since you will just earn 40 extra dust like this from the current half, and it's probably not worth it for most of you for 40 dust gain anyway. Question number 4. When will you receive your Hall of Fame dust and when should you disenchant your cards? We will know the exact date of the Hall of Fame as soon as we know exactly when the new expansion will get released. April the 2nd was a plausible date for that, but seeing we still haven't seen a teaser for the new expansion, I believe it will probably be around the 2nd week of April. When the rotation hits, you will automatically receive your Hall of Fame dust for your cards, and you can disenchant all of them after that without having to worry. Question number 5. If you don't have dust for all of the cards in golden, what should your priority be? The biggest return on invested dust comes from crafting golden legendaries. You invest 3200 dust and you get a bonus of 1600, which is 50% extra. If you don't have that much dust, you can craft a regular legendary for 1600 and receive a 25% bonus, which is 400 dust. The situation with golden epics is exactly the same. From there on down, the situation becomes worse and worse. So do everything you can to craft the golden legendaries first and then move down to the golden epics. You have at least one more month to gather the dust, so do your best and craft the cheaper cards only if you're left with no other options. The next question is also a bit relevant to this one. What can you do if you don't have the cards and you don't have the dust? If you're a really new player, it might be worth it to start opening Witchwood packs for a chance to get some of the Hall of Fame cards. This is a really delicate matter though, since you will have to decide which is more important for you, getting extra dust and Witchwood cards or having the new cards from the soon-to-be released set. But I repeat, if you haven't opened that many Witchwood packs and you plan to do so soon, now would be the best time to do that, because you will increase your Witchwood collection and you will have a good chance of opening some of the Hall of Fame cards as well, so choose wisely. Again, this is only worth it if you don't own most of the Hall of Fame cards from the Witchwood, because if you get a third copy of it, you won't gain the dust bonus from that. To continue this subject, here's another question. When should you craft the Hall of Fame cards? Just in case you actually open some of the Hall of Fame cards before the rotation hits, it would be best to not craft them yet. And do it in the last few days before the rotation. Just make sure you don't forget to do that, because you will miss out on some serious dust. And now, let's repeat how we can upgrade our Hall of Fame cards to Golden for free, which was scenario number 5 from my last video. If you intend to keep the cards in Gold after they rotate to the Hall of Fame, you can disenchant all of the regular copies of them right now and just craft all of them in Golden and do nothing when the half hits. This chart shows exactly how much dust you need to invest into the golden copies and how much dust you can get if you owned all of the regular versions of all those cards and you disenchanted them. So these were some of the more frequently asked questions from the last video, but here's another dust tip from me to all of you veterans with huge dust piles. If you wish to have an extra chance of getting 3200 extra dust from the Hall of Fame, you might want to craft and hold on to your Golden Baku and Golden Gen after the Hall of Fame, because I believe we will see a nerf on those two not too long from now. Sure, Hall of Fame saves standards from the odd and even archetypes, but what about Wild? Odd Paladin, Odd Rogue, Even Shaman, and many more are still dominating archetypes in Wild, and we saw that Blizzard is actually trying to balance Wild from time to time too, with the nerfs from not so long ago. We are seeing some Wild tournaments as well, so I believe there is a reasonable chance for these two to get nerfed after they get Hall of Famed. Again, I advise this only for the veterans with tens of thousands of dust that are just lying around there doing nothing. And since you guys are veterans, you already must have Gen and Baku, so crafting those two and Golden now might pay off in the long run. But if it doesn't, you won't lose anything for doing it anyway, so it's your choice. And that's it for this video, guys. I hope this time I managed to explain everything around the Hall of Fame, but if you still have questions, you can be sure I will do my best to answer them in the comments. Don't forget to check out World of Duels if you want to win cash from playing Hearthstone duels and tournaments. Thanks for watching. I'm Kris05 and I'll see you in my next video.